Okay, Mike Caton from Ace Method Coaching here doing my weekly live stream where I'm going to review some videos sent to me by some athletes, hurdlers, mostly US here today. In fact, I think all of them. Got a variety of middle school, high school here, and I have nobody to get mad at but myself, but I'm going to do 10 of them today. I'm such a sucker. I just have a hard time rejecting these videos. I mean, obviously I don't do them all, but I try to get down to 5, but couldn't say no. So they're going to be quicker than I'm comfortable with, but otherwise I'd be here for hours and I don't want to do that. Remember, if you want a really good version of what you're seeing here, which is to let me coach you, go to my website at acemethodcoaching.com. On there, you'll see a section that says virtual coaching sessions. Do that. It is a much better version than this. I do a really good job of spending really good time on your video, answering all your questions, trying to give you some really, really good practical advice to help you achieve your goal, whatever that might be. Everybody's always happy with it, and if there's a 100% satisfaction guarantee with it or your money back, and nobody's ever complained. So trust me, it's a good investment in your hurdling. Go do it. Okay, I'm going to start off with, I think his name is Arod or Arnod, Arnaud. Darn it, I forgot to check what he is. Shoot. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't write down anybody's information. I believe he's a senior in high school. So, and I don't have time to go back. It would ruin the whole live stream. So, everybody knows who you are, so hopefully it'll help you. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Okay, so you're really good, but everybody wants to be better. Okay, I like your acceleration into the hurdle. I like your last step going into the hurdle. This is exceptional. Your lead leg is good, except I think you're a bit too close to the hurdle because, see, you're having to really crunch up to go over that hurdle without hitting it. In fact, even right here, I wish you were a little taller. Not bad, but you just look like you're having a hard time not kicking that hurdle on the way up, swinging your leg a little bit from the outside, and it also puts you high. And again, I think it's because you're too close. So you had to take a high angle at it in order to not hit it. So you're well too high over that hurdle. You like to hold your trail arm out to the side. I wish you'd get it behind your hip a little bit more. And pretty good job. Well, a good job of not letting your lead arm swings across your midline. So your lead arm's a problem. And then when you swing it back, you're swinging an open arm out here. Just bring it to here. Grab that, what's it called? Seat belt. Buckle it into the side. Bam, right? And then, yeah, that's really pretty much it. You're really good. Good steps between. Let's see if the second hurdle. See, this just strikes me as a little crunched. And again, you're having to come up at the hurdle. And your heel is on top of the hurdle and you barely got off the ground. I think you need to back up more than 6 inches. I would start with 6 inches, get used to that, and then go farther away. I think that'll be the biggest thing that'll help you. Because you can see you are coming up at the hurdle, reaching the top way too far forward, and then coming down. You come off nicely. So you're really good at a lot of things. I just think that's one thing that is keeping you from being better. I love that name, the Red Riots. I wonder where that is. Okay, Austin. All right, Austin. He's been trying for a while for me to look at his video. He's the guy in the purple winning the race. Really aggressive competitor. I'm going to pick him up right here. I almost selected you last week, Austin, but I couldn't say no 2 weeks in a row. Okay, I can tell you right here, this is not a bad touchdown as far as the overall position of your body and the way you're up tall, but your trail leg should be farther rotated around by now. Okay, so your trail leg just sort of lags a bit. Yeah, it's definitely behind you. So try to pull your trail leg through sooner. And then this step right here, see how you're going out on your heel? Try to bring your foot down more back angled this way and get on the balls of your foot rather than your heel. Same thing, I would get on your toes, get running faster on your toes. I would focus on quick step. Like if I were your coach at the track, yeah, and see here you're reaching out a bit. I think your hurdling is fine, except that trail leg. It's too far behind. At this point, I should already see your knee out here up by your chest. And at this point, it'd be here. And at this point, your leg should already be coming down and you haven't even swung it around yet. So you need to work on bringing the trail leg through sooner, but overall, your hurdling is fine. A whole lot about it is fine. Really good. I would focus on what I just tell my athletes, quick steps. Like all your drills, pull the spacing in closer and work on your legs moving up and down like pistons, really, really quick, always landing on the balls of your feet. Your turnover in between the hurdles is just too slow and stretched out. That's what I would do. Pinch in those hurdles to, let's say, 10 and a half walking paces. Practice going over those really quick piston legs, striking the ground with the balls of your feet. Okay. Darn it, okay. This is somebody international. I think it's India. Gamber, really pestering me to watch his videos. Okay, Gamber, here's what I see. It's just the way you're running. You're not running normally. Your hurdling is pretty good. This is good hurdling. Really good, actually. I mean, yeah, look at this. Good lead leg, good lean, good trail leg. Boom, very nice. Your problem is you run very scrunched down. This is better. Maybe it's just the... Let me see here. Okay, this is definitely a leap. I mean, you're taking a real leap here to get to here. So that's slow. Leaping is really not that fast. Striking the ground with your foot here, jabbing into the ground at this angle, is putting on the brakes, slowing you down. You're hurdling with arms out like a helicopter. Oh yeah, those arms need to be tightened up, and you're too high over that hurdle. But this is a good position, except the arms. Boom, that's a nice step right there. Okay, so in summary, you got to tighten those arms. Keep them at 90 degrees all the time. So focus on that a lot. The other thing is try to, as much as possible, to practice on running, like striking the ground on the balls of your feet. So you need to pinch those hurdles in closer when you're practicing so you can work on your 3-step rhythm, because you are just too stretched out. And I know that this is the spacing that you race at, but if you always practice at that spacing, you're just going to keep training yourself how to run with long, slow, stretched out strides. You need to develop that pattern in your body so that you can do it, and it'll help you get faster. Okay. Jinxie. I've seen Jinxie before. This is a good video. Okay. My memory is this is better than before, so good job. Obviously, trail leg issues on that first hurdle, but I'm going to see if maybe it was a fluke. Let me see something here. I'm going to watch you come off this hurdle. Okay, you're too far away. I mean, you're waiting for gravity to bring you down, and that's, you're not long jumping, right? You're hurdling, so you want to hit to the ground sooner. So coming off this hurdle, you don't want to be sitting back like this. As you come off and you bring, there's several things going on here. What I wanted to say is you need to bring your hips forward with your trail arm, but your trail arm is hanging back. Okay, so I can tell you one thing. Your hips have opened up. They've turned towards the camera. So your hips are right towards the camera now, and your hips should always stay facing forward. So when you come over, don't let your hip turn out to the left. Keep it forward, and that'll pull your trail leg through sooner. Yeah, your trail leg act. I'm going to see if it's better. So not bad. Actually, overall, this looks like a good movement. I don't know why you felt like you had to strike the ground on your heel. Should have gotten on the ball of your foot there. Not a bad step. This is pretty good position. Okay, again, I would really focus on keeping your hips faced forward all the time, because you tend to let it turn out here. And then when you pull your trail leg through, you're pulling it underneath. It needs to get out to the side more, but you're coming down nicely. But when you come forward and pull that trail arm forward, you need to bring your hips forward also to drop your lead leg down faster. So this hurdle is better than the other one. That one was more of a fluke. So overall, this is better. Keep your arms tighter. I think you're doing good. Just get on the balls of your feet. Get your trail leg more out to the side. It'll let you go lower over that hurdle. And then come down forward with your hips forward. Stand up off that hurdle, and you'll be faster. Okay. All right, Joe. Okay, Joe was saying he's having a hard time getting quicker over the hurdles. Wanted to know why. Well, the nice thing is, Joe, that this looks easy for you. You look tall. You move like an athlete. Looking at your frame, keep in mind that, faster usually means stronger. I would spend the off season working on your strength, your power. You have some good things going on with your technique. You really do. Like, I really like the way the second step here, watch your foot is already underneath you and it's moving back in the air before it hits the ground. That's fantastic. Non-braking action. And then your foot is actually coming back. That's really well, almost. Not a bad plant step. So I would definitely get on the balls of your toes, balls of your feet, okay? Take advantage of those really long legs. You need to be farther away from this hurdle. You need to be probably more than 7 feet back for somebody like you, moving full speed, 7.5 for sure. When you drive that knee forward, the leg is actually moving well. But when you drive that knee forward, try not to let your thigh get any higher than this. But yours goes up, 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 up. And then when you go over this hurdle, your knee is really bent. What you want to do is straighten it out more, because you can't go any lower because you'd hit it with your heel. But had you been a little farther back, and then you extend your leg straighter towards that hurdle, you can go lower over that hurdle because your heel would be higher, right? And that'll enable you to do that. So that's what put you too high. So back up, drive more at the hurdle, get lower. And I think everything else will work together, because you have this is a nice touchdown. Very nice. This is really good. This is really good. This is really good. Yeah, it's all that one thing. Back it up 6 or more inches, go lower at the hurdle, and I think it's going to solve most all your problems. Okay? All right, John, middle schooler. Honestly, I chose this video because I just love this video. I love that he's got this little kid racing against him too. These cameras amaze me. Somebody's running alongside of you, I'm guessing, and it's just fantastic without all the wobble. I gotta get me one of those. Okay, so plus it's this time of year for middle school, so. Okay, looking pretty good here. Looking pretty good. Okay, see how you got your foot out reaching in front of you here, landing on your heels? So there you're slowing down a little bit. And then you're jumping you're too close to the hurdle, and you're jumping up on the hurdle. See the angle that you're having to take? But to be honest with you, you'd have to jump up like this because your heel barely cleared this hurdle. So the same thing that I just told Joe, if you were to back up at least 6 inches, you could go lower at the hurdle, straighten out your leg more than this, and that would help you go lower over the hurdle. Because right now you couldn't go any lower because you'd crash right into it. So back up, take a lower angle, stay lower, and then when you come down, your leg needs to be straighter than this. And now you got to drop, and you've lost all your energy. You obviously don't have a lot of speed right here because you just dropped almost straight down. I don't know that I've ever seen it quite like this. I mean, look how close you are to the hurdle, like you're an elite hurdler, but it's not because you're hurdling like an elite hurdler. It's because you didn't have any speed and you just dropped. And then now you got to start running all over again, taking tiny steps. Again, too close to the hurdle. Bent knee, you got to straighten it out more, stay lower. So, yeah. But overall, you have the basics down really well. So this is right leg, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so 5 stepping. Yeah. I would, like I tell everybody, by the way, this is my hurdling 101. That's how basic, fundamental it is. When you practice, you don't want to practice with the same spacing as the meets, because you just don't have the energy that you do have at a meet, the adrenaline, you're unable to do it. So you just end up having to stretch out, take these tiny little baby steps, and that's how you learn to hurdle. Then you go into a meet and do it that way, especially when you're in the grass. And I'm guessing you're going to race on an actual track, which is going to help you. So you need to pinch those hurdles in, lower them down a click, practice hurdling properly to learn how to do it so you can try to do it in a meet, okay? But you got the fundamentals down. Okay, Logan. Okay, Logan is this athlete right here on the outside. He doesn't have anybody to his left. Wins this race really big. I never get a great camera angle because the camera's at the finish line, but this is what I don't like, Logan. I mean, obviously you're good. I mean, look how much you beat everybody. So let's figure out how to make you better. The problem is, and you had a good 3-step rhythm, but look when you go over the hurdle, see how your lead leg is hooked to the inside? It shouldn't be bent like that. So I gotta wonder, why is that happening? It might be because you're too close to the hurdle, but again, I don't have a good angle on it, so I can't say for sure, but that's definitely one of the possibilities. Had you been far enough back, you could bring your trail leg through straight, get lower over that hurdle, and then stay faster over the hurdle. The other thing is you have both of your arms forward right now. You should never have both arms forward. So when you bring it, even right here, like you bring your lead arm forward, but you also brought your left arm forward. And then you held it there, then it had to go, So at this point here, right arm forward, left arm back, keep them both at about 90 degrees. And then as you descend the hurdle, they switch. Also, your trail leg looks funny. So you're keeping your trail leg underneath you. You got to get it out to the side, out from your hips. That's another thing keeping you from going lower. So the weird lead leg and the low trail leg, you got to work on both the action of those so that you can go lower on this hurdle, maintain your speed, and it's going to change your race totally, because you'll come off the hurdle faster, run good between the hurdle with more speed because you're actually fast. And then you have more speed going into the next hurdle and everything will be better. Okay, so you are like 80% there. I would just change those things and it'll make a big, big difference. Okay, 3 more. Luke. Okay, Luke. Disappointingly didn't ask any questions. But here's what I know. He's an 8th grader and he's winning this race easily. And I gotta say, this is really great form. And you know me, I could find fault in anything. And this is really pretty good. I mean, really, really good. In fact, I chose this, even though I don't have much to say, because I want to make a short out of you and say something about, look how fast this 8th grader is, something like that. Okay, I'm going to get really nitpicky because I'm telling you, I think you're really good. So anything that I say on top of this is me just getting really nitpicky as if you are on your way to being a lead hurdler. Now, I understand that next year you are going to go with hurdles that are, 6 inches higher than this. It's going to make a big difference. But you definitely overall have things down really, really good. Okay, so here's what I like. Well, I like the lead leg action a lot. It's a little bit bent, but I think that that's probably because you're working with such low hurdles. The other thing is you're being kind of lazy with the trail leg and it's kind of coming through low. But again, you got really low hurdles, so you're able to do that. So I think what's happening is you're just adapting to these hurdles that are too low for you, and you're able to get by with some, I don't want to say sloppy, because nothing about this is sloppy, but just sort of passive form. And you'll probably tighten it all up next year when you start working with a higher hurdle. And you're high over this hurdle, but if I look at your curve, it's not as if you're jumping up. You're just running right over because you're too tall for these little hurdles. So doing really great. Honestly, I don't have much to say. I think you're really good. Okay, Nicholas. Okay, also multiple times submitting. So Nicholas is this guy right here. And I saw a video of Nicholas last week, and he was racing this same guy. And each time they are neck and neck, teammates, running identically. So Nick, I'm guessing, wants to beat his teammate finally. Or I don't know if they never do, but he wants to beat him. Okay, so Nick, okay, overall, good. I mean, I would give you a good score. There's a whole lot of good things going on here. Let me tell you what they are. You got the rhythm down really nicely. Your lead leg action is coming through straight. But the problem is your knee doesn't need to go any higher than, you're just too high over the hurdle. Okay? So let me see if I can figure out why. Here we go. Okay, so the angle of this thigh should be parallel to the ground. So that'd be the one thing that I would focus on is driving your knee forward versus driving your knee here, because this is what you're doing. Okay? So in order to make that happen, if your knee weren't so high and you swung your leg, would you hit it on the hurdle? Possibly, which tells me that you might be a little too close to the hurdle. In your case, it wouldn't be much. Actually, it might. Because see the way you're reaching the peak of your jump right here? Somewhere between here and here? You're too far forward. This should have happened farther back. And then you start descending on the hurdle. So watch this. Let's look at your lead leg. Right here, when your ankle or your heel is at the hurdle, you should be lower. And then it should start, from this point on, I should see it descending. But yours is going up before it starts to go down. So you need to stop mirroring your teammate. You need to take off from about 6 inches back, reach your peak here, and then start coming down on the hurdle. And when you come down, if you were to land just like this, you would do just fine. This is really good. You're just too close. And it's forcing you to float in the air too long. That's your problem. Your running is pretty good. It's just that you are spending too much time floating on the downside of the hurdle, taking too long to come down, waiting on gravity to pull you down rather than you coming down and coming off the hurdle tall. The other thing is you need to tighten up your arms. They're just especially that, I want to say your trail arm, definitely your trail arm, but let me see your lead arm also. Not bad, not good, but not bad. So keep both of your arms tightened at 90 degrees. Okay. Let me know how that goes. I'd love to see if you beat this guy. Okay. All right. Preston. Don't get confused. She's not Preston. This is Preston over here. Okay. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see what can be better. Good step. Pretty good step. Not a bad step. Okay. I'm not a fan of this lead arm coming around up here. It's better than swinging over the top of your head, but yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I take that back. I mean, I would just shoot it more forward, but this is not, a lot of really good hurdlers do what you're doing. Okay, I love the distance from the hurdle. So all these other guys, Nick and Luke and Logan, I'm thinking, look how far Preston is. And that way he reaches the peak here and he can go low over that hurdle. Okay? He's not coming up on the hurdle. But Preston, you are leading with a straight leg. You're supposed to drive with your knee, and your heel should be tucked by your butt at this point, and then it unfurls. It's faster. And then you're keeping both, especially your lead arm is coming out straight as it swings back. You want to focus on having your elbow bent at 90 degrees. You want your hand to sweep by your knee as it comes through. Oh, look at this guy's taking a video too. How come he didn't send me both angles? This is not bad here, again, except that your arm is now behind you, but you've done a good job of keeping your shoulders forward. A lot of people who swing their arms the way you do, it pulls their shoulders around, but it hasn't done that with you. Your trail leg is a bit behind where it should be, meaning it should have rotated a little farther forward at this point. But I love the way you bring it down there. This is a really, really pro step right here. Overall good, except I just don't understand why you went for the heel when you could have just changed your ankle position and struck the ground on the ball of your foot. That would have been better because you're missing out on some spring off the track when you land on your heels. That's kind of dead. Stay on your toes, okay? Okay, not bad, not bad. Again, the lead leg. You know, I don't know that I've ever said this, because usually I'm having to tell people to back away from the hurdle. I wonder if you might be too far from the hurdle, because you're hitting it on the way down. If there's any time to hit it, no, it's actually pretty good. Okay, I will say this though. Let's look at the action of your trail leg. Right here, your knee should be higher. You can see that your trail leg is down low, and then you're just taking it right into pulling it in the front. Just something about the way you move it. I think you hit the hurdle right here with your heel. Okay, so yeah, I would experiment with trying to just take off a few inches closer to the hurdle. Definitely work on that lead leg that I already told you about. And then make sure you come through with really good trail leg motion, because yours is pulling underneath you versus out to the side. And that's part of why you're hitting the hurdle with your ankle here. Okay? You just don't have, it shouldn't look like this. Okay? That's what I think. But overall, you're doing really well. And I will say this, I don't think you're tall, and it might be that the distance from the hurdle is exactly what you need. Okay? Because if you've seen my video, I'm not saying you're short, but you certainly don't look tall for a hurdler. And the adaptation that you have to make is to take off farther and land a little farther. And so it might be that you're doing really, really well, and you probably might not need to change anything except that trail leg. Okay, definitely get it more straight out. So do some drills with that, and that should do it. All right, that was 10 reviews. Let me bounce out to here. No questions. Okay, good. So I hope that helped everybody. If you're watching this, somebody asked the question, would you review hurdle practice? The answer is yes. If you want me to see your video, go to my website, acemethodcoaching.com. You scroll down, there's a section that says freebies or free stuff, something like that. There's a few things in there. One of them is a hurdle technique cheat sheet. The other is a free video review, something like that. Click on there, you'll see all the information, question and answer, to the ability to upload videos, ask questions, blah, blah, blah. And that's how they come to me. And then what I do each week is I pick a handful of them, and that's what I review on this show. The other people get an unfortunate email that says, sorry, I didn't select your video, and here's some suggestions if you still want me to help you. But the smart play is to realize how important this is and how $49 is not a big deal to get some really expert coaching. So do this upright versus these quickie little things that I'm doing on here. Send me your video, so meaning sign up for a hurdle, I just forgot what it's called, a virtual coaching session, and I'll do that up, and you'll be glad. Again, it always goes well. It's guaranteed to like it, or I'll give your money back. But it's not going to happen. Okay, that's it. Everybody have a good end of your season, because I know seasons are coming towards an end here. Treat your mom really nice tomorrow on Mother's Day. Have a good week. Coach Ace out.